It's funny, off the back of the conversation we were having last week about rioting and stuff, and we need to flog the government. It's always fun. I feel like we're recording on Tuesday and something happens Wednesday just before the podcast comes out. I've said it so many times.
That's conspiracy theories, false, isn't it?
No, it happens all the time. No, it's so annoying, bro. I'm like, I want to talk about this, but we can put the following week. So it came out that certain man in Tory government were on the whole vibe of, do as I say, not as I do.
Literally.
So last Christmas, a lot of people followed the rules. They adhered. They didn't go and spend time with their loved ones, whilst these man was boozing it up. Cocaine, caviar, vol au vents, champagne. Yeah, they're having a whale of a time, whilst we was over there following the rules. And now the police are saying they're not going to investigate. Even though you have to pass a policeman to enter the building, bro.
They literally guard the building, bro. They are the evidence.
Yeah.
They say there's not enough evidence, bro. How are they going to question themselves, bro? Like, the country is just head to toe running corruption, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point. I genuinely don't see the point. What's going to change, bro? Why would people in power relinquish power?
All right, cool. So and I'm happy you said that because I feel like we've gone in circles a little bit, yeah? If we were in their shoes, yeah?
Oh, my God.
I want to take something else. Be really frank here. Would you follow the rules? Because it's very easy to say over here as the poor, the disenfranchised. If you're not poor, disenfranchised, fair enough, innit? If the shoe doesn't fit, don't wear it, please, innit? But if you fit that label, like a lot of us unfortunately do, yeah, the minute you get over to, like, say the grass is greener and you're over there and you can tell people to do stuff and you don't have to follow the rules, would your moral compass still be in place when you have power, you have money, and you have the law on your side?
Bro. Go on, because I know.
Everyone's looking at H straight away.
I know what I'm gonna say.
What do I have on my side?
Power, money,
You're the government
and the law.
Yeah.
All the burners.
No,
all the turners.
Every burner in the
You have
land.
nuclear defense.
A what?
Nuclear defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a hard one, I want to say no, but then I'm properly processing
all the rules.
Yeah, all the rules and how I'd apply it.
Yeah.
Because then I'm thinking, how far does that extend? Does that extend to my family? Does that extend to, do you know what I mean? Who am I leaving out in the process of doing this?
Because you can do the African president thing. Don't you remember in like early stage of COVID when they were finding out warehouses with all the palliatives, like all the stuff that
my God,
families were hoarding stuff, and people I'm talking like bags of rice from here to the ceiling.
Warehouses of it. And
the people in the community are starving. But the only reason why they can do that is because they're in power and they have first dibs, innit? So they're going to hoard for themselves. Because they say, what's it? Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So it's like, yeah, when you're over there, what will you do? Because only one person I currently have faith in that probably would 9 times out of 10 stick to what they said they were going to do was Jeremy Corbyn.
He was the only half-decent human being in the House of Commons.
Yeah. The rest of them mess up.
The rest of them mess up, but I just feel like it's what this country deserves. If we're being honest, this country deserves everything that's happening to it.
But we're here experiencing it, bro.
It's because we're here that we're feeling like this. But if you think about the history of this place, bro, they deserve this shit, bro. I don't even think of myself as part of this place. I don't.
Me, I'm part of.
I don't.
It's a pretty Patel can be hearing.
Romantic social media approach. You're here.
Social media?
We're paying tax.
Bro, I don't. I don't. What now?
Hey, you shouting at me like I'm not next to him.
I don't follow the law, so I don't even care. But
so what you're saying is you and Boris Johnson are like this.
Honestly, if I was in power, there will be levels to the disobeying of the law. Like,
okay, cool.
I wouldn't do a mad thing. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't commit no crime.
Just a cheeky meal here or
there.
But
like lockdown, did I follow it myself to the highest I could? Not really.
I like you said that because then we go into like what's happening now. I said that, okay, cool. Nigeria's off the red list and that. Detty December's back on. But before that was announced today, as we're recording, it was happening when I was coming up here. I'm seeing people that would at the same time get onto the government talking about like, yo, if anyone could finesse me to get into Ghana, COVID passports,
you know what I'm saying, fake
certificates. They've started arresting people in NHS because people was charging like 4 or 5 bills. Don't ask me how I know the number, but people was charging a certain number for people to put them on the register.
Bro, you can't say a certain number after you said some numbers.
You said you were asking me a certain number after you said the number.
How old are you, Alex?
My age.
People were charging money to be like, okay, cool, this person's been vaccinated, innit? And they get a certificate.
So bad.
And now they're traveling the world doing Christopher Columbus and that.
No, I think that's a dickhead move though. If I'm being honest, I think that's a dickhead move though. There's levels to disobeying the law. Again, I keep saying.
But then how it's hard for because we don't get a much chance to do like an FU to power, innit? So they finesse us and violate us all the time, yeah. I feel like we have a moral obligation to us each other as human beings, yeah. But when you're on this side of things and you don't have much chances to like do your own thing, that's why people are so rebellious. Like, I'm not gonna let them tell me what to do when it's clear they're doing whatever they want to do.
But the difference is this affects us.
Of course. I'm just starting a conversation.
We're going back home, and what was I going to say?
Healthcare.
Thank you. We're going. Yes, thank you.
I was going to say it.
We're going back home to countries that typically, generalization, yes, don't drag me, but typically don't have stable. Their economies aren't stable. They're not as developed. They don't have those sort of healthcare systems.
And they've been shafted with the COVID vaccines. Like they've a lot of them have not had them, or they've got them late. They've got the bad batch because the West has got the first dibs.
They're hoarding, and so it's not a fuck you to the man. This is literally just a fuck you back in our own communities.
So we're going home moving like the colonizer.
100%. So this virus is deadly, and I feel being a first world country, there's definitely a type of what's the word I'm looking for? Carefreeness that we can have to COVID, because we know that if we get sick, we can just go to the hospital. You can get lateral flow tests, PCR, like all of that stuff is free. Like in South Africa, I think a piece from a tweet I saw, it's not news, but they're giving grants for people to get tests, but the test costs more than the grant or something. Basically, for you to even be able to get a test, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. And you do that, you're going to go, you're going to have your holidays, you're going to do up great. Even if you have the argument that we're going there and we're supporting tourism and we're, helping boost the economy, when you leave and all the tourists are gone and these communities have been ravaged by COVID, they can't work, the healthcare system's collapsing, it means that they're not able, people can't go to work. What happens then? Was it really worth it for you to?
He's enjoyed the economy that you improved because you went to fucking Baramba.
Bloom Bar.
Bloom Bar, yeah.
Bar Bloom.
Area Bar.
Bar Bloom.
Come on, man.
It's selfish.
Quilocks.
No, it's definitely selfish. When I saw it, I was just like, this is very interesting. So I'm going to take time seeing it, And I don't want to get in a self-righteous hips. Like you said, everyone, if they're being brutally honest, where you may have has everyone followed the letter of the law when it comes to COVID all the way throughout? Probably not. A lot of us have had COVID fatigue where we're just like, this is kind of long.
A lot of people tested positive, still went out.
But so what Chris is saying are like your enjoyment. It's not really F you to the man, it's F you to us. Those things are crazy to me. Like when I had COVID, but I felt mad. But I was I was calling my people like I got the clap like, hey yo, you need to get tested. I felt probably guilty. Like I didn't do anything. It's not my fault. But to then be like, okay, cool, I was around Haich, I was around Chris, I was around this person.
Different, I'm not gonna lie.
And I have to call everyone up, be like, yo,
you feel bad.
Yo, please, bro, go and get tested in that.
It was real.
It's crazy.
So like, if okay, cool. Even the week we had Richie Brave on, Vans didn't have Rona then, but he had a scare. He didn't come. And then after, my man told us like, yo, I've got family members that are vulnerable. So like, even though he was joking that Vans didn't pull up, he appreciated the fact he didn't, because obviously Vans isn't to know, but he's got people he's gonna go home to and be around that. If they get corona, it could be peak for them. So I think like we do owe each other an obligation in it. So, but like I said, I was just starting a conversation because I feel like it is easy on this end. If you give me the 100 million now and say, I'll spend it on the healthcare budget.
That's why you don't have 100 million to spend on the healthcare budget.
Is this why God's not giving me 100 million?
That's why.
No, Fols would spend on the healthcare budget.
I think I really hope I would. But I'm not. I think I would, but I might take 2 mil. I might. 98 mil's fine, bro. Like
I would actually rather take money from elsewhere. Yeah, because I'm the kind of person I am.
Cool. You know what it is? I'm liberal. Defense. We don't need to go to war,
brother. We don't need to go to war.
So if they give me 100 mil for the defense budget,
they're getting 20 million, bro.
Chrissy, I'm taking 50. I'm sending it to Niger.
I'm taking 80. Sending it home. Cash. 50s.
And then you get there, and then man give that money to Boko Haram.